Welcome back to 1010's Podcast. I'm your host, Robert Rivera, and I'm sitting in the Kanga Motorsports studio, and across from me is my co-host, Adam Nilsson, and it is another Saturday afternoon that we're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Because we care.
Yeah. Totally.
Definitely not forcing it one bit. This is natural. Like, this is planned. We were thinking ahead.
My week was such a shit show.
Yeah.
I'm so tired.
Yep. Mine wasn't quite as bad as yours. It was busy, but
I just want to go to bed.
Yep. Then I can't sleep in, so like I was out late last night, which I never do.
I can sleep
and then I woke up at sleeping in for me was 8 o'clock.
I mean, yeah, I woke up at 7:45 because that's when my daughter woke up.
Yep, I didn't have that, so
I'm aware of it.
Just went downstairs, drank coffee by myself. Watched the Formula 1 qualifying, went to the shop. I'm so tired, Adam. Feel bad for me.
Where's Formula 1 this weekend?
Hungary. The Hungaro Ring.
The Hungaro Ring.
Yep.
Good track.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
More technical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like more technical tracks.
Yep. It seems to suit McLaren a little bit.
Ooh. Your boy going to get a win?
Not likely.
No?
No.
Damn it.
I wish.
What the hell?
He got P4 in qualifying, so
P4?
P4.
He was on the top of some Facebook page I follow's predictions for all three of their people.
Like top 3?
He was number 1 for their predictions
he ain't
on
winning.
all three of those
He ain't
people.
winning.
Leclerc, boom, boom, boom.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Norris.
Oh, sorry. Shit. I got the wrong. Leclerc is a Ferrari driver. Isn't he?
Yeah. Leclerc is probably going to win if his car survives.
My bad.
And then Verstappen's down in 10th.
See how much I care about
I
Formula
1. I kind of want to, like, I told myself I was going to stop following after last year. I was like, I'm going to focus on IndyCar, which I am. I just watched the Indy, what the hell? I don't know what they actually called it. The road course Indy race.
Oh, that was out. Was that today?
Yeah, it ended like right before he got here.
Oh, cool.
But yeah, then I still follow Formula 1 more than I thought I would this year.
Well, this year's been a good year.
It
for
has.
once. Finally.
For the most part, yeah.
Yeah, like it hasn't been the Hamilton and Verstappen show.
No, but it's still been Ferrari versus Red Bull, and the reliability is the only reason it's even as close as it is.
McLaren's not doing bad though.
But they're not.
Well, they're not in.
There's a huge step between third and second.
The Mercedes is all like clear back there, and
No, they're right there. They're right. It's Red Bull and Ferrari, and there's a gap. And then there's Mercedes, and there's a gap again, and there's McLaren. Then it's everyone else.
Who's the second McLaren driver?
Ricardo.
Oh,
he is struggling.
Who's the second Mercedes driver?
Russell. He's doing well.
Oh, is Bottas still driving?
Alpha Romeo.
Oh, so he's a
Russell was on pole today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, man, doing well.
Damn.
Just out of nowhere, they're like, the announcers are talking like this is like.
So is Hamilton the number 2 now?
No, I don't think. I mean, he's in this like.
Is he struggling? Is he struggling?
He's struggling in the new car because he can't adapt to a shitty car the way Russell can.
Is it really that shitty?
Compared to what Hamilton's had for the last decade,
I mean,
yes.
Yeah, I suppose you're not wrong.
Absolutely. He's been pampered for like 10 years.
Yeah, right.
So then now he gets given a shitty car and he can't cope compared to Russell, who's always had shitty cars and been able to wring their necks. So
interesting.
So it's just a weird dynamic this year.
Yeah.
It was Ferrari 1-2, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, and Russell, and like the announcers are fucking going crazy because like on the last second he gets pole.
Yeah.
So it was interesting qualifying, which will be super outdated by the time this comes out because the race will be over.
Time attacking, Robbie.
Yeah, it's qualifying.
Time attacking.
That's what qualifying is. Still so difficult to explain to SCCA road racers like what time trials is.
It's qualifying.
Way over their heads.
It's qualifying.
So what is time? Like we're sitting there, like this is like we're in Brainerd, right?
Right. Yeah.
And we're sitting there doing tech inspection for the time trials group. So like one of us has to be there because they're not going to do it.
Right.
So it's either me or James or Adam Seto, and then we're there helping. And the people that are also helping run the scales are kind of, we're bullshit talking or whatever. And they're kind of like having us explain what time trials is. And my go-to is it's qualifying. It's
Yeah.
6 sessions of qualifying. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
But still, it's just like...
How more clear can you be about it? I don't understand
like fastest lap
why
win.
That's so hard for them to grasp.
So they're not racing for position? No, fastest lap. It's qualifying.
Right.
Like, just... What do you mean? What do you mean? What do I mean? It's qualifying.
It's fine. Fuck them.
Yeah, it's fastest lap.
Oh, well. Some people just aren't meant to do it. It's fine.
It's not, I mean, I don't know. I always see it as like progression. Like if you want to get to wheel, you kind of work your way through the system. That's how I always.
I think it makes.
I mean, it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to be a ladder.
I think that as a ladder makes more sense than the, like, you know what? I want to be a race car driver. Here's a $4,000 school for a weekend.
Yep.
Let's go racing.
Or that, or like karts. You know, it's you and against 7-year-olds that are faster than you.
Well, yeah, because they weigh 40 pounds less than me. So my cart's automatic 40. They weigh 140 pounds less than me. And so my cart's automatically twice as much as theirs.
Well, plus their cart was 6 times more expensive.
Well, there's that too.
But I mean, you'll have that in every level.
Well, there's that too.
But I guess it always was. It's surprising to me that hasn't always just been a natural progression in the SCCA. You got solo, HPDE, time trials, wheel to wheel. It just kind of seems like a natural. Not to say
if
that
wheel to wheel is your destination, Robbie.
That's what I'm saying.
Any of those places can be a stop,
without question. That's not what I'm saying. Yeah. Like with respect,
I know. I'm just giving you shit because there's a lot of people who don't understand that you can
stop anywhere.
You can stop anywhere, and like that.
That can be your thing.
There are way too many people who think that the only type of racing is wheel-to-wheel racing,
right? And
that anything else is just a waste of your time and is less good.
Oh yeah, we've had that conversation many times at like an SCCA mid-ev event, like we'll be bullshitting with club racing, like. So you're fine with this? Yeah, that's why we're here. Is we're enjoying what we're doing. We're here with these cars to do this.
Yeah,
we don't have to do wheel to wheel, and like. That I'm kind of like in the middle because like I do both. To me, time trials was a stepping stone because I wanted to do wheel to wheel, and I know a lot of people that don't.
I think that the way you did it's a good way because you and I are both similar in this aspect. We don't like showing up to an event and not knowing what we're doing.
I want to be at least.
I don't want to be
prepared.
I don't want to be the idiot jackass who doesn't know what's going on,
and I also don't want to ruin everyone else's weekend.
Right, and I don't want to be a bother.
Right.
And so
I'm so Midwestern.
If I can show up to an event, like that's why we went and did the course working or the corner working thing that we did was kind of so that we could get a feel for how the event flowed.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't even know what I was getting into. We just showed up and they're like, here's some flags. And they walked me through it.
And they were so jazzed that we were there because we were new people.
Yeah. Fresh blood.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, like it just seemed like in general, it just seemed like club racing kind of lost its touch on how to get to club racing. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because the having to buy a car and then do a very expensive comp school, and that's the only way that you could get into it, just doesn't make sense in today's economy.
No, and I think it showed with attendance. I mean, SCCA, we'll just say in like the 60s or 70s. I don't know the actual numbers. I have nothing in front of me. But like it just seems like it was way more popular then, and then just seemed to like harder and harder to get into.
So it was I think it was less of a financial burden to get into it.
Probably.
Just to find out it wasn't your thing.
Right. I do
or
know
even
somebody.
Just get into it at all. Like even if you knew it was your thing, just getting into it is difficult enough.
Yep. Yeah, I knew someone locally. I don't know if he hasn't been racing since I've been more serious about it. Like I knew him when I was in Ames, and he was like, "I'm going to go racing," and he did it that way where he bought a car. It was a Porsche something or other, and spent and did the school
$5,000 or whatever it is on a school weekend.
And I think he did maybe a season at most, maybe less. That was it. Wasn't his thing. I mean, he's financially well off.
Oh, I'm sure. I get that. Fully capable. It's really hard for me to swallow that pill. Whereas if I could take my car that I enjoy driving and then do some autocross and be like, okay, this is
fun.
This is a good time. I can see where this could be my thing, and then move to DE
Yeah.
And be like, oh, yeah.
I want to be on track. I want to go faster.
Good. This makes sense. Yeah. Dip my toe a little more. Spend a little more money. Make a few years of practicing. Don't make a fucking fool of myself.
Yeah.
Because I feel like no matter how good those schools are,
3 days isn't enough.
3 days is not enough for me to jump onto a racetrack, run wheel to wheel, and feel comfortable.
And honestly, as a competitor, I wouldn't feel comfortable knowing that someone next to me.
How can you trust that guy?
Done that. None of the experience of being on track is there.
I feel like you need time doing DE and time trials and stuff like that before you even touch. Because, obviously my love is time attack and stuff like that. But like jumping into a wheel-to-wheel situation, you have to have a lot more faith not only in your abilities but in the people around you.
Yeah, your situational awareness has to be up through the roof. Like you have to be aware of things you don't even think about.
Well, and you got to
at the lower level.
You got to trust.
So the other stuff.
You got to trust that the guy next to you is up to the task as well. Mm-hmm. And that's hard. I feel like that would be hard to do if I knew that this is this fourth time this guy's ever been on a racetrack before. Because one thing I tell people that have never raced at all before is that like you don't understand just how good even shitty cars on shitty tires can corner.
Oh yeah.
Like you don't understand if all you've ever done is drive on the road. Yeah. Like you have no idea. You have no idea what your car is capable of handling. What your car can do.
Oh yeah.
And so in order to learn that limit, you need to start out in a place where you have space. You're not going to
go off track.
That's exactly the opposite of the point of wheel to wheel.
Yes.
I'm not going to give you space so you can learn your car. That's not what I'm here for.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why people are so, like, a lot of the long time runners are so dismissive of everything else. I feel like they should want that progression and moving forward, and I feel like that will make better drivers
without a doubt.
And therefore better racers.
Yeah, when I put in my submission to be in WRL and get a competition license through them, same with Grid Life.
Right.
I have a tab where I keep a working document that has every single list of my track experience.
Right.
And I went autocross. I didn't have the actual dates, but I had I had a rough estimate of how many I've done.
You didn't have that many, honestly.
It was more than I thought, actually. Between 2014 and 2019, 18?
17, 18, yeah, somewhere there.
It was like, grand total was like 20.
Right.
I'd done 20 events.
Yeah.
Which is way more than I thought I did.
Yeah, probably.
Because anyways.
Do you count the Marshalltown go-kart track as autocrosses?
I did count those.
Okay.
I counted those.
Then, yeah, that makes sense to me.
Which is why the number seems higher than I thought.
Right, yeah.
And then I did my HPD and time attack stuff, and it's like an entire page because it's like three years worth.
Yeah, you did some PDXs, you did some Grid Life HPD sessions.
Yep, and
then lots of time trial. Like you did 2-3 full seasons. 2 full seasons,
basically, bouncing between the two series, and then so when I submitted that to Grid Life, I went like, maybe I'm more experienced than I realized.
Not as bad as I think.
It was just like I sent it in going, okay, I feel ready to take that next step. Because I didn't submit it saying like, here's my 3 autocrosses, 2 PDXs, and a time trials event.
Right.
I'm clearly ready.
Yeah.
No, it was literally it was a Word doc, size 12 font, all the way into the second page of experience. Where I'm like, okay, I now feel comfortable taking that step to wheel to wheel.
Right.
And it took me 3 years to get there.
Yeah.
And that was with the goal always in mind that was where I wanted to end up.
Right.
Whether it was 3 years, 10 years, whatever.
Well, I think early on, at least, I think the goal was specifically endurance racing wheel to wheel, wasn't it?
It's always, I didn't have a plan
and now
to make a team. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that was always where I wanted to go.
Whether you were buying seats in random teams or you built one. Mm-hmm. But then, you kind of found your place in sprint racing now, too.
Yeah, I kind of talked about it on the last episode where it's like finding where I'm happy and like going to Grid Life with my car by myself, having my friends around me, of course, not necessarily a crew or a team or anything like that. I find that very enjoyable. I like racing in GLTC with my 350Z it's my car. These are choices I make. It's as competitive as I make it because of my decisions. I don't know. The pressure's on me. So if something's wrong, it's on me.
You can't let anybody down. Like Booney let you down.
Like going to Road America.
And then not even get a single fucking lap in.
Apparently, I get to drive car first. going ahead. But like,
I don't know if he listens to this, but if he does,
he will eventually.
I'm definitely getting a text message for that comment. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I literally tell him about it every time.
I'm well aware. I've heard it.
But like, I really enjoy racing in GLTC.
Yeah.
But I also really enjoy racing with the team in endurance.
Yeah.
It's
a very different thing.
Very different.
Right.
But I really don't see myself doing anything beyond those two right now. Like those are the two things that I enjoy the most. I don't see myself going anywhere else. So, but I don't want to lose one or the other. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't want to go, I'm only racing WRL with the team. I want to do that. I want to go to every race that they go to. I still want to go and set aside weekends for myself to go to GLTC, race at Grid Life with my car.
Right.
So, and I get to do that, and I'm very fortunate.
Right.
So,
I don't know how we got here. This is
how
this happens,
This
Robbie.
is good content,
The fuck are we going to talk about today, Robbie? I don't know, but it'll end up being a 3-hour fucking show. And here we are like
2 hours in. No,
15 20 minutes into it. We haven't even started about the things we were actually going to talk about.
Yep. So that this rant about progression and racing and
stuff.
On-topic car stuff.
Look at that.
Is presented by Factor Fabrication. FactorFabrication.com for all your fabrication needs. If you need to get caged, railed, if you need to get brought to a racing event and not get to drive a car, if you want to build custom furniture.
It's rude, Robbie.
I know.
I love it.
I actually gave him shit about it.
At least when I don't drive, I went there with the intention of not driving. Right?
But I always give him a hard time. Like, he still apologizes for it. I was like, dude.
I know.
It's the name of the game. I'm fully aware that that's a risk that we're taking here. Like that's racing.
Sucks.
You don't owe me anything. I was like, you could hang up. You could tell me tomorrow you're selling the car and I'm done racing. I will have no hard feelings. This is your choice. It's your car, your choice, your team.
We're going rock climbing, Robbie. Fuck it.
I don't care. Yeah, I will have no hard feelings if I never drive the car again. If that's the choices, if that's the direction he goes with this, so be it.
Yeah.
I have no hard feelings.
Right.
So I feel fortunate enough to get to drive it at all.
Yeah.
But if you want to get custom railing in your house, anything made out of metal or wood or anything custom, Booney will hook you up though. FactorFabrication.com. I know he did the cage in my car. He's done some cages in other cars. So I mean, if you're local to Des Moines, you're kind of thinking like, man, I need something done to my car, like a roll bar or something like that. Hit up Booney and see if he can fit you in. FactorFabrication.com.
Should we wash that disgusting taste of car talk out of our mouths with something completely off topic and random?
What is this in front of me?
So, as is now apparently the tradition.
As is tradition.
James Morgan, Sunday Cup extraordinaire.
Classic James.
Yeah. Grid Life buddy. Karaoke champion of the people, as far as I'm concerned.
What? I'm offended, sir.
Why?
I sang at karaoke once.
Yeah,
twice,
and?
Once.
Yeah, but you don't go as hard as James does, I promise you.
I don't have the charisma of James.
James goes hard. On some like really random punk music.
Fuck yeah.
It's so good.
I just sing Lustra.
Scotty doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
He sent me this bullshit.
Okay.
So I think that these are going to be better than...
They'll be fine.
Yeah, so I'm about 80% sure. So he sent me grass soda and dirt soda.
So glass bottled grass soda, mowed and bottled in the USA. It's green.
I'm about 80% sure that that's some sort of lemon lime, Sprite, 7-Up, Mountain Dew thing.
It's the color of green antifreeze.
Uh-huh.
Like spot on.
Yeah. Hopefully it won't shut our kidneys down.
It's fine. It's James'
antifreeze is pretty sweet too.
Yeah, it's James's fault.
Yeah, that's fair. And then this dirt soda, shoveled and bottled in the USA.
I'm pretty sure that when we were at the original Podcast Wars with Radio Podcast, rest in peace.
I think we sent that to them.
No, I thought they sent this.
No, I'm pretty sure you bought a whole bunch of them, and then you sent that one to them, and then it turned out to be delicious, and we were really, really bummed out about it.
Luckily,
that's when we sent them shark
jerky and durian candy.
Yes, and durian.
That's how you win a podcast war.
I feel like they still won. Do you remember that salty candy shit?
There is no way that was worse than durian candy.
No way, dude. That was the most disgusting thing I've ever
I will
had
give you
in my
durian
life.
candy if you want to have this conversation again.
No,
The shark jerky and durian candy.
I don't want to do that.
I don't want anything to do with either one of those.
So
yeah,
I'm assuming
someone
that's some sort of lemon lime deliciousness, and this is either cola or root beer. I'm going with cola though.
I'm gonna go with cola on dirt. I'm gonna go almost. I want to lean towards green apple.
That could
Even
be
though I know better of it, I'm gonna vote green apple. Even though I think you're right with lemon lime.
The one that we sent them, one of them I think thought it was maybe pear flavored almost, which would be delicious.
That would not be bad at all.
So I guess we'll just try these.
Okay,
I'm assuming they're just fine.
Are they twist offs?
I hope so. They look like twist offs. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Popped right off. And it's carbonated still, so that's a good sign.
Oh, what the fuck? It spins, but it doesn't pop off.
Uh-oh. Do I need to get an opener? Oh, no, you're going to ruin the furniture. Max is going to be so mad.
It spins, but it doesn't come off.
Oh, no.
Damn it,
The other
Robbie.
one came off. Here, if you want to pour the things, I'll get
I figure since we each have a cup and a bottle.
Yep.
So I'm just going to pour that, and then I'll drink out of the bottle, and then we'll put this in that, and then you can drink out of that bottle.
That's fair.
I don't know how else to do that.
Yeah, whatever.
T.O. on the play. We're going to not obviously stop, but why doesn't it just pop off? Damn it, James. This is only James Morgan's fault. So he's at a hill climb today, and I'm super jealous about it. Get some Robbie here. This is for Robbie. Oh, yeah. Bubbly goodness. Oh, Robbie, that smells delicious. That smells so good, Robbie.
I almost fell down the stairs to stab myself.
Oh, that would
with
have
this.
been really bad.
It's like it's one of those wine cork
Don't run
openings.
with scissors, Robbie.
Yeah,
Did you learn anything in
catch
middle
that right
school?
in the screw, the
Did you learn
corkscrew
anything
right
in
in the chest.
or in elementary school? This smells so good.
Green?
This is definitely apple.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, definitely apple.
that's weird. It is like pear.
Oh my gosh, it is pear. Oh, that's really good though. I like it.
It's very sweet.
Yeah.
How many grams of sugar?
Oh, all the grams. Instagrams. Calories, fat. Total sugar is 42 grams.
So it's a Mountain Dew. So it's
interesting.
It's a McDonald's sweet tea.
It says total sugar is 42 grams, including 42 grams of added sugar.
Well, yeah, it doesn't start with it.
Which means that there's no natural sweeteners in here, probably.
Yeah. It's just a bottle of pure cane sugar.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
for sure.
It is pear.
Yeah, it's really good, though.
Good
I
memory.
like it.
Good memory on you to remember that it was pear.
I was really disappointed by it. Because they sent us terrible things, and we sent them delicious stuff
Yeah.
in return.
Because of course we would.
Yeah, right? Let's see here. Oh, that doesn't... I don't know that smells... Not a cola. Oh, that's not
Oh,
what I
that's
expected.
red.
That's red.
That is red.
That's not the cola that I was expecting. Smell that, Robbie. Tell me what that smells like. What does that smell like to you? Yeah, right?
Cinnamon?
Oh, I never... Ooh,
Does it smell like cinnamon?
maybe.
Cinnamon and maple... Bourbon?
That would be interesting.
Yeah, it's like a Captain Morgan spice flavored soda.
Oh, that's weird.
What is that? What is that flavor?
Is it chocolate?
But spice, like it's got like a spice, not like spicy, but like
a spiced rum.
Yeah, like a spiced rum spice to it.
That's not as good. I don't like that one.
I'm not gonna waste some and drink it. But.
I don't like it as much. That's a strange taste.
It's Tootsie Roll.
It is chocolate.
It's carbonated Tootsie Roll with a little bit. It kind of has. I think the carbonation is like a fake spice. It's Tootsie Roll.
It is chocolate.
Yeah,
I don't like chocolate.
that would explain why you don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the fizziness kind of makes it have that like Captain Morgan spice, but it's Tootsie Roll.
That's weird.
Dirt. 43 grams.
Well, that one's
42 grams.
Oh, okay, they're the same.
84% of your daily value. That's good. Here, I'm going to take a drink of this. My other 42%.
What was that?
Jess brought me Steak and Shake for lunch.
Is that a Coke?
Yeah, it's Coke.
Steak and Shake. I haven't been to Steak and Shake in a minute.
Yeah.
Did you get one of those garlic burgers? So good.
It's too much garlic.
Said no one ever, Robbie.
It was too much. Oh, too much garlic.
So good.
I like the Frisco.
The Frisco one's pretty good too, yeah. I'm with you on that.
Yep.
Can't go wrong with Steak and Shake.
No, it was good.
Ow. That hurt. Just about pull my headphones out of my face. All right, well.
Thanks, friends.
Yeah.
James.
He's at a hill climb right now. I'm so jealous.
Where at?
He went and visited Mr. Matt Williams.
Oh, so he's down by Tail of the Dragon.
Yeah. And they're watching the Chasing the Dragon hill climb today.
But that would be fun.
They're watching. They're not driving. They're not participating in it.
Traveling to watch.
I think former guest of this very show, Alan Skillicorn, still holds the record there.
Awesome.
In his D Sports Racer.
That'd be fun. That'd be a fun event.
It does look cool.
More hill climbing stuff.
The SCCA's kind of been doing that push.
A little bit of a push, yeah.
Yeah. And I know that...
They're pushing road rallies, too.
Well...
On a national level, they're pushing road rallies.
The insurance for a road rally event is so disgustingly cheap that any SCCA region who needs a fundraising event...
It's that one.
...needs to be running a road rally event, because road rally events are disgustingly cheap to host.
Yep. Because you basically write the rules so that it's technically, air quote, illegal to break the law.
Right.
So it's not advantageous to you to break the law.
The average time that you have to cover that distance is one that is not above what would be required by the law.
Right. No, I know that at a national level, they're telling all of the local regions saying, hey, you should be doing this.
Oh, I think so too.
Yep.
I think it'd be...
I
know that was something that Michael really wanted to do before he passed away.
Rest in peace.
Jesus Christ. It's never not funny to me.
I miss that guy.
Anyway, and I even, I have a route or two in my head. I have never put pen to paper, but, I have a route or two in my head we could do.
We locally have a guy...
That
what's his name?
The one that you guys did is dead.
Yep, but we have an SCCA rally safety steward. And he's still licensed.
Okay.
But we need another. It's not the steward. It's another one that would be you need 2 signatures for everything. So one guy makes the course, the other guy signs off on it, type of situation.
Right.
Michael, rest in peace, would have been able to tell us.
Right. He could.
He was one.
Yeah,
for a while.
he did that.
So we would Des Moines region would need that other person still, which is not that big a deal. But yeah, no, we've actually talked about that at meetings about doing that more moving forward.
I mean, it's literally $25 for the insurance.
Yeah,
to the region.
Yeah,
it's so cheap. We were shocked.
It is.
I remember
it is irresponsible not to.
I remember when Michael showed that to us when we were at
National Convention.
Like, what? No way.
Yeah, well,
you literally can't lose money. If you get one person to show up, you'll make money on the event. That's how cheap it was.
Essentially, yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah. No, it'd be great if we could do one a year. The DMVR doing a road rally. I think it'd be a hit if we could just get someone to spearhead it. You know what I mean? And I
don't have time.
We thought Michael was going to do it. Rest in peace.
Well, tragedies are such as they are.
Yeah, that is life.
Yeah. You win some, you lose some.
But speaking of fun events, I'm trying to talk about this off and on until we get closer, and then I'll be a little bit more
aggressive.
Consistent about it. So we talked about it a while back. We are partnering with Rev Match Track Days. Man, this stuff's making me burpy. I apologize. This is James's fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm burping on the show and you're like, man, that's disgusting.
Last time it was Jim's fault.
Yeah, it's James.
This time it's James' fault.
Jim and James.
Yeah.
Next week, James from King of Motorsports is going to send us something, followed by a different Jim.
I'm about 60% sure there's already something else in the mail.
I cannot confirm or deny that I know that someone or did or didn't.
So I have a funny story.
We'll get to this.
Sorry. I have a funny story relating to this. So, Katie is terrible about keeping surprises. So every year when she'll buy me something for my birthday or for Christmas, before it's time, I'll have already figured out what it is because she can't keep a secret.
Jess is terrible at giving gifts too.
But nothing makes me happier than keeping a secret from her.
Yeah.
And holding it over her head.
The long con.
Yeah.
Kind of like when we bought the NPO one.
Right. Yeah. Nothing makes me happier.
I get that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, the thing that I wanted for Katie for her birthday this year was something I could buy on Amazon.
Oh.
But I'm locked out of my personal Amazon account.
Okay.
I don't remember if we talked about that on the show or not.
Yeah.
But I'm locked out of mine for one reason or another.
Okay.
And so the one I use is hers. So she gets an email every time I order something. So clearly I can't just order it from her. And even if I could, she'd probably open it if it shows up because it'd have her name on it.
Yeah, you need it.
So I posted on the Sunday Cup chat because all those motherfuckers in there are mailing me shit. I'm like, I might need one of you guys' help to buy Katie's birthday present for me and then send it to me as one of your dumb things.
She won't open that.
She won't, because she doesn't open those packages. She just rolls her eyes and says my friends are stupid.
And she's not wrong.
She's not wrong. But so that stuff's on the way.
Nice. See, those are your friends without the air quotes.
Right.
And then the ones that sent us this are friends.
Right. So James ordered it.
Yep.
And it's on the way.
Nice.
Problem solved.
Thanks, King of James.
Wrong James.
I'm giving James credit.
That's fine. He would have done it too.
That is true.
Except that he would have put my actual name on there, not some dumb name.
That's true.
Because he's way too nice for that.
You could have sent it to my house, and then you could have picked it up when we do a podcast in 3 weeks.
Well, that's the thing. I wouldn't have got it in time. I used to just send it to work, but our warehouse guy's a little weird about that sort of thing.
Oh, really?
Well, so we have a lot larger company than we did where I last worked.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think he just doesn't want that precedence set because he doesn't want to be
everyone to do that.
He doesn't want to be everybody's mail guy.
I don't blame him. And
so he's pretty hard no on it, even though I think he would do it for me.
Yeah, and if it showed
I'm not going to ask him because he's been very adamant about the fact that is not okay.
He doesn't want it to be a thing.
Because he doesn't want it to be a thing people abusing.
He's not wrong.
So.
Okay.
Anyway.
Fun events. We partner with Rev Match Track Days. So they're doing a Midwest track tour in October. So on Friday, October 21, they will be at Gingerman. Saturday, they'll be at Audubon and Joliet. And then Sunday, they'll be in South Beloit at Blackhawk Farms. So it's basically 3 tracks in 3 days. And it is basically just a fun track day thing. And then the registration is... scrolling down. So it's HPD. So it's actually not expensive. So 3 days for $510. So it's a bunch of track time with a bunch of your buds at 3 different tracks. So it's kind of like a mini
one lap of
America. I don't really think there's any plans to cannonball from track to track beyond just doing it. There's obviously everyone gets there and start at the same time. It's
the same weekend as the just announced Grid Life event, which is kind of a bum deal.
Oh, the one at Pit Race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I won't be going to Pit Race. That's a long ways away.
We'll talk about it here in a little bit.
Yep. But yeah, but for those that aren't going all the way out to Pittsburgh or Pitts Race, and you want to do something local with your buds, use the code 10/10ths. Their discount. I can't remember the exact discount.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah, it's 5 or 10%. I don't want to say the wrong one.
Any amount is
it's in the description of the show.
There you go. See,
scroll down. Open your app. Go to whatever app you're listening to. Click on the show information. Mm-hmm. Scroll to the bottom. There's a link to this, as well as all the information, including what code to use and how much off it is. I think it's 5%.
We are so good at promotion.
Well, I had it all memorized and then I forgot. It's because I copy and paste it into the description. So if you read the description every week, it's already there.
Boom.
But yeah, I'm gonna try to make it. I think this sounds super fun.
It does sound cool, and it's a couple of tracks that you at least haven't been on.
I haven't been to Audubon or Blackhawk yet.
Yeah,
obviously I've been to Gingerman many a time. But this is one of those like we were talking about earlier. This sounds fun.
Yeah,
but that's all there is to it. It just sounds fun.
It sounds way less stressful than One Lap was.
Oh yeah,
There's number one, there's more track time because that's one of the hard parts to me about one lap.
Yeah.
Like I get the adventure.
Yep.
But I can see where a lot of people would just do it once to check it off the bucket list, but not make it a regular event because of its lack of track time.
Yeah, I see.
But this one, you have a full day, and then the transits are only a handful of hours.
Yeah, it's not.
You're not doing 10 and 12-hour transits and then 4 laps.
Right. Yeah, no, this is 3 full track days with a little bit of a drive in between.
Right.
So it'll be fun. RevMatchRacing.org, and then this event's obviously there.
Yeah. What else we got, Robbie?
Ugh.
We have stuff. We have all kinds of things. What do you want to talk about next?
You never finished talking about
Good Guys.
Good Guys.
No, I didn't. You
just hung up on me.
Yeah, because I was like, fuck the fans, and I just shut my computer off and went to bed.
You did do that, yeah.
That's pretty much what I did.
That's how it felt to me.
I'm fine with that. Okay. So there were a few small things I wanted to talk about that I didn't get a chance to because my internet, for like literally the first time in the history of me living in that house, decided not to work for me. So, Good Guys always does a car corral and swap meet area.
Yes.
Which this year they brought it inside one of the barns, and that was actually really nice because it wasn't so brutally hot.
Well, that'd be good. Yeah, so usually it's just like in the parking lot.
Right, they just take a place in a parking lot. And, when you're in the car show and you can walk around and you can move and you can literally hop in your car and drive away for a while, that's not so bad being in the beating sun.
Right.
But when you are stuck at your swap meet booth and you can't move,
sucks.
That sucks more. So, so there was a couple of things I wanted to talk about. So Robbie got a picture pulled up here. We'll talk about this real quick. There was a Dodge Omni there.
I really appreciate that you took this in portrait mode, so it's nice and long and doesn't fill the screen very well. And the amount of grass and bullshit that is in the picture versus the amount of focus on the car is just you're just so artsy that you're like. Anyone can take a picture of a car,
Robbie,
with the car in frame.
If I took it landscape, then you'd bitch about it not fitting on Instagram.
I can crop a landscape. It's like here. Hold on. Let me click on here. Let me scroll it. There's the picture you should have took.
It's good to be consistent, though, Robbie. I'm nothing if not consistent.
That is fair. Those wheels are just like yours.
Yeah, I think they are exactly my wheels. Yeah. But this one was an automatic base model, nothing fancy. It looks like he had the seats in the interior reupholstered at some point.
I'll say it's very minty fresh.
Yeah, it was less than 100,000 miles on it. I don't remember what it was. It was more than mine, but less than 100.
Wow.
Which was kind of surprising.
Yeah.
I just thought it was cool. There were a handful of like front-wheel drive Dodge cars there.
Good.
Which I was really excited about.
You mean to tell me that you like to see these at Good Guys more than you like to see the modern Miatas?
A Miata actually isn't that much newer than that.
Oh, shit, you're right.
You can get a Miata in 89. It's the first year of the Miata.
Wow.
So that was like an 87.
That is crazy. That is crazy to me that's only 4 years, like probably a 4 year difference.
I think that was an 87 or 86. And the Miata could have been purchased. Well, okay, so I don't think we got them in the U.S. until 90, but their first year of production was 89.
That seems like a huge jump.
Yeah. Design philosophy. Well, I mean, to be fair, the first year of Omni was 78 or 79.
Yeah.
So there's,
and I always think of them as like
they did very little changing through their production run.
Right.
So, but yes, that's still.
But hey, to me, in my mind, that's like, that's a 20-year-old car when it's clearly
a Miata doesn't feel like a
25-year-old car,
like a 25 or almost 30-year-old car.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's like.
Well, actually,
like I was at a concert last night, and they're singing the song, and it's like, this song is 20 years old this year. Really? Really?
Dude,
you're doing that to me.
My
right
Cavalier was a 99. That is still at the time of purchase the closest to new car I've ever owned in my entire life. I bought it in 2000 4 or 5.
Yep.
And it was built in 99, which means it's 23 years old, Robbie.
Holy cows.
That was 23 years ago.
This podcast stopped being fun right now. It's not fun anymore.
Yeah. We've been out of high school for 15 years, Robbie.
Yeah, they did our reunion.
15 years.
I skipped it though, because forget that.
We went to the figure eight races.
We did, yeah. I made the right choice, just so we're perfectly clear.
We're kind of getting old.
Ugh. I fell skating like 4 weeks ago. My wrist still really, really hurts.
Yeah. Yeah.
Probably gonna have to tape it next weekend.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. Just pour some dirt on it.
There you go. So anyway, car corral stuff. There was a couple of interesting cars that were in there. The first one I wanted to talk about, there was a Countach
replica
rep car.
Here, hold on.
This is a little better, isn't it?
Open the picture.
It's a little better, isn't it? Well, yeah, but now you can't see all the car when you scroll in that far. That's the thing. I understand that it's portrait and not landscape, but I had to be that far back to get the car in frame.
Yeah, but you could have changed your angle. You could have gone. It's a wide, long car. You could have gone. Took a step to the left.
You can
drop down.
You know what you can do? Go fuck yourself.
Wow. First you tell the fans, and now you tell me.
Well, okay. So here's the thing. I still feel really, really weird, like crouching down to take pictures and stuff like that.
That's how people know you're serious and you're good at it.
I'm not serious or good at it, Robbie.
That's because you just whip your phone out and you're like,
yeah, I do it. I don't even stop.
You just hold it close to your chest and
I do.
Don't even look. You just kind of push the button. And
I don't even stop walking.
You don't even check to make sure you even got it in frame. You're just
yeah, I do. I was in frame. It's perfectly in frame, Robbie.
And then you just keep walking, and then if you stop and
anyway,
put, one knee on the ground, people know you're serious.
It was a Fiero. It has a V8 in it.
Ooh.
It was really, 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 really well done.
It looks to be well done.
It was
the height's good. The angles of the car are good.
Titled as a 96 Lamborghini Countach built on an 86 Pontiac Fiero non-stretched chassis.
Oh, so from the side, it's going to look a little off.
It didn't really, though. I couldn't tell that it wasn't right.
Okay.
It looked proportionally correct.
So if you had them side by side, obviously.
Maybe if they were side by side, but sitting there by itself, it didn't look like it was too short or anything like that. It looked proportionally correct.
It's a good kit.
It was a very well built car too. 350 TBI motor, 5-speed manual get rag transmission, V8 Archie conversion, aluminum radiator, coilover strut conversion on the rear, heavy duty sway bars front and rear, centerline racing wheels, full leather interior. A staggering, frankly, $38,500
for a kit car these days. That's in that shape. That's not surprising.
It's probably not. It's
it's
absurd.
Super, no,
but it was.
It's not a steal, but it's definitely not.
No, but
he just has to find the right buyer. But that's probably a fair price for what it is.
The interior was fucking rad,
like clean.
Yeah, so it has. Leather bucket racing seat. There are some pictures in there.
Look at that picture.
Yeah, fuck yourself, Robbie. That's a good picture.
That's what I'm saying.
Thank you. Anyway, the interior has these racing bucket leather seats, and then Corbo
4 points.
80s period correct looking Corbo 4-point harnesses.
Yep.
And it just all looked right.
Yeah, it looks good. I mean, it'll crush your spine in a minute of a rollover, but it looks good.
Well, so the thing about kit cars usually is that there's something that just doesn't, it's obviously off.
Right.
And so, you can look at this car and you can look at the interior, you can see okay, it's not a Lambo.
Right.
But it was still really well done in itself.
Very.
It was
there's a lot there to like.
I would drive this car all over the place and be tickled pink with it everywhere I went. It was so cool.
It looks super fun.
I wouldn't even feel bad about the fact that it's not a Lamborghini.
No.
Because I think at some level, when they're poorly done, like, yeah, I'm sure it's fun to drive, but you always feel like you're explaining, oh no, it's a kit car.
Yeah. And everyone obviously
I
knows.
understand that this one is too, but it's so well done that I don't feel bad about telling people that.
No, it's a kit car, but like it's a very nice one.
Yeah, it was really, really cool.
I always thought
I really, really enjoyed looking at this car.
See,
I would really, really like to own this car.
I get that.
It's way too much money for me. But like, you know, if money were no object, this would be a car I could totally see myself buying for a while and just playing with it.
See, I've always wanted to take like a Lamborghini Diablo kit car, put like a SCCA cage in it, and take it to like GLTC.
That would be so funny.
Fucking amazing.
That is so cool.
It'd be like terrible because it'd be on a Fiero,
like,
so it'd have no handles.
There's some pedigree to racing Fieros. You can make it work.
I'm sure.
Like, the nice thing about the GLTC rulebook is that it's open enough that you can do the modifications that are required to make it work.
Right.
You might have to take a little bit of a point modifier because it might nearly end up being a tube chassis at that point, but you can make it work.
Yeah. That would be cool.
It is super cool.
You could probably put like Corvette suspension and shit all around.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, it can't be that hard.
Good brakes on it.
It'd be fine.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
How hard could it be?
It can't be that hard.
No, we got a fab guy.
Yeah, you know a guy.
Plus, he owes me.
You're a pretty good mechanic. Yeah, and he owes you since he didn't give you in track time. The least he could do is help you build a race car, right? Jesus Christ!
Oh, yeah. I'm never gonna get to drive it again. Yeah, I heard your last podcast, fucker.
He'll probably be listening to this on the way
to Colorado.
And
he's gonna be like,
next week.
You know, now that you mention it, you're the last one to drive it again.
So another interesting thing I saw in there, a car that I'd never really heard of before, was called a Rambler Scrambler.
A Rambler Scrambler.
Yes. So it's an AMC. It's red and white. You'll get there eventually, I'm sure of it, Robbie. No.
I'm out.
Oh, come on. Did you not get these pictures?
You sent me
That was the hood of it right there.
The purple one?
No. There.
Okay.
That's the hood of it.
I'll keep looking.
Apparently that's the only one I sent you somehow.
I got more pictures.
There it is.
What the fuck picture is this?
I was against a wall.
If you're on YouTube, please go pay attention.
I was against a wall, Robbie.
You couldn't rotate your phone?
I did. I had to turn it. I took the pictures like with my phone at like a 45-degree angle so I could get the whole car in frame because I couldn't get any farther away from it.
All right. Well, anyone watching the YouTube channel, I apologize to your neck.
Oh, fuck yourself, Robbie.
Here, let's just put it upside down because who cares?
Anyway, apparently these were semi rare-ish, interesting, almost factory race cars. So they have this big hood scoop on there that's factory.
Oh, yeah. That's huge.
Yeah, it's like a full-fledged drag racing hood scoop. Factory.
Huh.
Came with a 390 V8 in it. Like, these were drag pack edition cars. I think it was super cool.
I assume you wanted a fortune for it, even though it's in not great condition.
I can't even tell you. I can't remember.
It's clearly just sitting on a trailer, so it doesn't run.
Right. It was in the car corral swap meet area. He had two of them, and he only brought the one. And I think the whole idea was you need both of these to make one car.
Yeah, probably. So like this is the one that's here in better condition,
right? And there's a lot of parts on there that like either you find those parts or you don't get them.
Yeah.
Like you can't buy, you're not buying reproduction parts for pretty much any AMC, let alone a limited edition version of one of the AMCs, right? Because nobody cares about AMCs.
True.
But this car is cool with a capital C.
Sure.
Because it's so unique and interesting. And the fact that it's like a drag pack car with that big crazy hood scoop on it and stuff, it's just different.
Yeah. And there's like 3 of them in the world.
I don't know. I don't think that they were super, super rare.
They are now.
Right. Yeah. I don't think it was anything that was loved and cared for.
Right.
So, I just thought it was cool. Good Guys has been so long ago, I don't even really remember it.
It's been a month.
So, yeah, it was just It was a good time. I enjoyed myself.
I haven't been there in a long time.
So there was the hood.
That's
it's got like an arrow on it. It's kind of cool.
Picture.
It's kind of cool. I was not centered on that at all.
Nope.
I'm pretty sure I was holding my phone over because it was on the trailer. And I don't want to climb on the trailer. It's not my fucking trailer.
That's fine, I guess. This is a podcast, so
it's an audio medium, Robbie.
Exactly. So their pictures don't matter.
So, yeah.
But hey,
somebody was selling like an old IndyCar looking go-kart.
Yep.
That was Budweiser liveried. I think he wanted like $650 for it, if I remember right, which is more money than I'm willing to spend on it. But
like a Briggs and Stratton 1 horsepower engine or something?
Probably a 5 horse, but yeah, it's just a single cylinder.
At that price,
Briggs and Stratton.
A little better.
It was super cool, but I don't have anywhere for my kid to ride it.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is that like if it looks kind of like an Indy car, it's going to be meant for like on a road,
right?
And even if in your yard,
my yard's tiny to begin with, so even if it was a fucking monster truck, like I don't have anywhere for him to drive it.
Right.
I don't live on a farm. I mean, I guess I could leave it at my dad's house and he could drive it there, but I don't want to do that either.
No.
And I just can't because I've almost, like multiple times, you walk into Tyson's or whatever local farm and fleet type store.
Yep.
And right there in the front, they've always got those 2-seater go-kart.
Oh yeah.
Things,
the Nerf dogs or whatever they're called.
Yeah. Yeah. The like original.
Yeah.
Small versions of these crazy.
It's the one
UTVs.
you've always wanted. That's your shit.
Right. But they're like, instead of buying a $30,000 side by side, these are like $1,200 or something, something more reasonable. And I look at that and I go, yeah, that'd be so much fun. And my son always wants to sit in one. He's like, Daddy, let's buy one. He's like, yeah, I'd love to buy you one of those, but what are we going to do with it?
Yeah, where are we going to go?
So, I don't know. This one was super cool because it looked like an old Indy car. And that's just neat to me.
Yeah. Even if it's like nothing better about it, it just looks cooler.
Yeah.
And the complete lack of like roll bar safety stuff.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
It's a go-kart. It adds to the cool factor.
Yeah.
So when your kid's driving his Budweiser...
My kid can die like a man.
Yeah, when he's driving his Budweiser liveried Indy car with no roll cage, smoking a cigarette, he'll look cool. Like real cool compared to all the other kids with their stupid go-karts.
Realistically, my son wouldn't drive it anyway. I'd be the one in it.
The thing is, like, can't go that... Yeah, I'll say...
He's a little bitch.
Just not into the...
He's just scared of everything.
Danger factor.
No, he is so scared of everything.
So he's smarter than we were.
When I was his age, I was sledding off rooftops, stuff like that.
I get that.
Not my son.
I want a dirt bike, and I don't want to wear a helmet.
Well, yeah, I was actually scared of my dirt bike when I was roughly his age, though, because I
had a healthy fear for it.
I crashed mine real hard, and then it took me years to get back on.
Oh no, usually I go back
the proverbial horse.
But I had to learn the hard way.
Oh yeah, I learned real hard.
Yeah. Yes.
So he just comes naturally scared of it. I learned to be scared of it.
I was the one that tried it first and then found out how madly it hurt. My brother watched me try it and went, "That was dumb. I'm not doing that."
Yeah, and look where you guys are now. He's
a doctor.
He went to school for the right amount of time to be a doctor.
Yeah. I went and got an automotive degree followed by an engineering degree, and now look at me on a fucking podcast.
God damn it. Anyway, I don't know. I just thought it was cool. $650 is too much. It's probably totally worth it.
It's probably not an unfair price.
No.
Really.
No.
Especially if it runs.
But it wasn't. It's not where I'm at.
No, I don't blame you.
In life.
No.
So, I don't know. I think that's really all I can remember.
How cool would that be as a pit bike? Like a pit cart.
Vehicle?
Yeah.
It would be pretty rad. I can't believe that Booney didn't say anything about my airport tugs.
Your what?
Did you not see what I sent you guys?
Oh,
somebody in Massachusetts.
I forgot to look at that. I was on my car.
Someone in Massachusetts is currently selling, I think, 9 or 10 airport tugs, and I think 3 or 4 baggage carts to go behind them for $300 a piece. And like they're sold, all of them. Are they all gone already? That doesn't surprise me. At $300 a piece. He said they weighed 5,000 pounds. They're worth more than that in scrap.
Yeah.
But they were apparently retired within the last year, and they needed mechanical work and like a full restoration.
4-cylinder Ford engine.
But one of those painted white and blue in Pan America
would be cool.
Would have been so rad to use as a runaround pit vehicle at race events, and then you could have bought one of those luggage carts and turned it into a tool cart.
That would have been amazing.
That would have been the best.
I think he already bought one of those electric cart things.
Yeah.
I
know he was trying to find one of those.
I thought he closed on that deal.
Those were super cool. I thought those were neat.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Airport
especially if you're pulling
for the MPO1,
yeah,
like because you guys have the Pan America livery, like that would be perfect.
It fits right in.
It would have been really cool.
Actually, we're irresponsible for not doing it.
$300 is a steal of a deal. I mean, it's a pretty decent deal at twice the price, but it's in Massachusetts.
It would have been in Iowa.
Oh, if it's in Iowa, Chicago. I would have gone and bought it myself for $300. Yep. Shit,
can't afford not to.
That'd have been so rad. 5,000 pounds though.
Yikes.
Tommy's like, get the stacker and go load a bunch of them up. And I was like, dude, one of those weighs more than the Corvette and the S2000 that we put in the stacker combined, and we were already worried about weight.
Yeah.
And
so
one of them. Yeah, so just put 4 of them in there. Yeah, that won't go poorly.
Yep.
So, of course, Tommy wanted to buy a whole fleet of them.
Well, yeah, you can't just get one at that price.
So, yeah.
Wild.
That's all I got for good, guys. That's all I can remember because it's been like a month ago.
Oh, this was our original opener.
Do we want to talk about? Let's save that for later.
Yeah, let's save that.
Yep, that can be a perfectly reasonable thing for a different week.
Yep, this podcast is going long already.
Woot. Look at us.
This long podcast is presented by My Petrobox. MyPetrobox.com for all of your automotive enthusiasts gift baskety needs. So if you want to give a present to yourself, use the code TTP15 to get 50% off your first box. It is a box full of automotive goodies, so like car care products. Usually it's t-shirts such as this cool one I'm wearing right now. Tools. Mechanics gloves.
You know what we haven't talked about?
What's that?
Cookie cutters.
Cookie cutters?
What's better than a cookie?
Yeah.
I do love a good cookie, and an automotive themed cookie.
Yep.
Even better.
Petrobox cookie cutters.
They had racetracks like Laguna Seca, the Nürburgring. Yep. That's super cool.
They're currently available in the store. $5. 50% off. Use their code TTP15.
15%.
Yep.
So.
But yeah, if you want to have a box delivered to your house every month with surprises of these types of things, or if you want to just go to their website, mypetrobox.com, go to the shop section and just scroll through it. There's all sorts of car care products, t-shirts, stuff like that have been in previous boxes that are available just in their the inventory that you could buy. You're not going to find it anywhere else that's cheaper than this. Same with, like I said before, where are you going to find monkey gloves or mechanics gloves for less than $15? Nowhere. That's the answer. mypetrobox.com.
Robbie's favorite book?
Oh, it's right up there. Go Like Hell, presented by A.J. Baim. Not presented by, written by.
That's one of your favorites, isn't it?
It is one of my favorites. It is the Ford versus, like, it's what Ford versus Ferrari the movie was based on, was this book. Mm-hmm. So it's extremely well written. A.J. Baim was a what was it? Chief editor? Something. He was like the editor.
A journalist.
Yeah, he's a very well-rounded writer, and he wrote for like Playboy and Maxim, and then he was like the lead editor at like Playboy or something for a while. But like
cool.
He's an extremely well-written writer, and then that just comes across in this book. It's extremely well researched. It's well written. It's like, I mean, there's a million people that have told the story of Ford versus Ferrari in the '60s with the GT40. None of them are better than this.
Is it written as a factual thing, or is it written as a story?
No, it's a biography written as a story.
Okay,
so it'd be like watching the movie. So it's like you're seeing their perspectives and like more like it's more than just a fact.
But it's also not like embellished story for the sake of story.
No, it's the story.
Cool. I have a copy. I have not read it.
It's extremely.
I probably never
good.
will. I should see if there's an audiobook version on the library thing I use.
I hope there is. There should be.
Still a little disappointed that there's only the second Jurassic Park book, and I refuse to start in the middle of a trilogy, Robbie.
There's only 2 books.
Oh, well.
The second Jurassic Park book is excellent.
But I want to read the first. I want to listen to the first one, too.
The first book is excellent.
I want to listen to the first one first.
Jurassic Park is the best movie ever made. The book is still better. The book is still better.
Whoa, Robbie.
It's the best.
That's not even true.
The best.
Is it even the best of the Jurassic Park movies?
The first one? Yes. Nothing even comes close.
That's probably true. I don't know. I just remember being like, I don't know what was.
You were too young to appreciate
was
how
I
great
8 when that movie came out, probably?
That was like 30 years ago.
Why do you gotta hurt me like that, Robbie? Anyway, I think I was like 8 when that movie came out, and I remember hiding behind a chair in my living room. 93, so I'd have been 6 when that movie came out.
So I wasn't far off.
Yeah.
Without being 30 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not far. That's crazy. Next year it'll be 30 years since that movie came out.
Yep.
Anyway, I remember hiding behind a chair in my parents' living room watching that movie just during the Velociraptor in the kitchen scene.
It's the scariest scene of all anything. It's
the
scariest. It's the scariest scene of any non-horror movie.
The new movies, like, I don't even have a problem letting my son watch.
Yeah,
I won't let him watch that first one yet.
The first one's terrifying.
Yeah,
the first one was done right. The second one, I didn't like it when it first came out. I don't know. I can't explain it but
which one's this? What happens in the second one? Because I feel like I've seen it, but I can't.
It's like the same as the second Jurassic World, where they go to the island to take dinosaurs off the island.
Oh, okay. So that's okay. Yeah. When do they bring one to the city?
The second one.
That's the second one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But like that one, again, Steven Spielberg was highly involved, so it's actually really good. But like when it first came out, it's like, well, it's not the first one, so it sucks. Right. But that one aged really well. And then when you compare it to the rest of them, okay, maybe it wasn't so bad at all. maybe it wasn't bad at all now that I rewatched them.
Have you seen the newest one?
Yes.
Is it ridiculous and stupid?
Yes.
I just saw them running around in the winter, and I was like, no.
There's so many fucking plot holes, dude.
Well, duh.
Like what? It's like they evolved 1,000,000 years in 4 years, which makes no fucking sense. I'm gonna rant right now.
Let's do
fucking
it.
Ridiculous.
It's our podcast, Robbie.
People are stuck now.
Yeah, I've ranted about Star Wars. You can rant about Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park is my favorite movie.
It's your favorite franchise.
Yes. I could get.
They're right here behind me on the shelf.
Right there. I was in on Jurassic World. I enjoyed it.
Which was the first of the newest ones.
Of the new trilogy.
Okay. Yeah, that was a good movie.
I liked it.
That was where they went to the amusement park.
Yeah,
and then shit hit the fan.
Just like it did in the first one.
The second one wasn't that bad.
The second one...
That was the one where they were auctioning, right?
Yeah, the second one I thought was pointless.
Okay.
I thought it was extremely well done because the director was a horror director before this. So the way he shot the movie was extremely good in the sense that he made dinosaurs scary again.
Yep.
And I like that.
Right. Because they should be, because they're fucking terrifying.
As they should be. The hybrid dinosaur shit annoys me.
That was a little too far.
The auction thing annoys me. So
I liked where they went to the island.
Yep.
That part of the movie, like if they had just stopped there.
Forget the whole auctioning part.
Right, but
have it be on
when
there.
they went to the island and the whole thing and we all cried for dinosaurs, Robbie.
When the brontosaurus
was
like crying?
Yeah. That was tough,
I wasn't crying in the theater.
That was tough, Robbie. Yeah. That was a well-shot movie.
Yeah.
Up to that point.
Yep. No, the auction part's stupid. Yeah. The rest of it's stupid.
Yeah.
But it was very well done.
Well, the human greed thing, that makes sense. That tracks.
Yeah. So I mean, I thought it was kind of the dumb way to do the movie, but I was in on it for the most part. Okay. And then it gets to the third movie, and spoilers.
Fuck it.
I don't care. So, in every movie leading up to this, the antagonist is the dinosaur. Because it's going to kill you.
Yeah.
That changes in this one. It's like whoever wrote and did this last movie completely forgot the entire fucking point of the series.
Right.
So it gets to they bring in everybody from the original, all the original movies, and then it's like, oh yeah, you're gonna lead into that nostalgia. Everyone's like, yes, Dr. Alan Grant. So all the dinosaurs that are living on Earth have evolved exponentially and can be in the snow, which makes no sense, even though it's only been 4 fucking years.
Right.
And then now the ones that we've had no mention of dinosaurs with feathers up to this point. There's a shitload of dinosaurs with feathers out in the wild that somehow got off the island or were brought off the island that now have feathers that didn't have it for the last 4 or 5 movies, which again doesn't track.
Right.
So then now they have like all these other dinosaurs that they've quarantined in this valley or whatever that's owned by the super billionaire or whatever. I'm not doing a great job explaining
this. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I haven't watched it.
Or maybe
yet.
I am.
I haven't watched it yet. We have it. I haven't watched it yet.
Okay, so the antagonist is basically this company that's just like Monsanto. So they have so Monsanto has the monopoly on corn seed that doesn't get killed by Roundup.
Right.
So this company, like Biosyn, is just like Monsanto, that their seeds don't get eaten by this genetically made locusts. So the genetically made locusts are eating all of the crops, which means that Biosyn now controls the entire food supply of the world. So it's just Biosyn seeds are the only ones that aren't getting eaten by the locusts. So the locusts are the antagonists, not the fucking dinosaurs. The dinosaurs
eat them?
No, the dinosaurs have nothing to do with the whole fucking movie. They go.
It just happen to be there?
Yeah, so everyone that was involved in the previous movies has to go to Biosyn to like get the people that can take out of Biosyn to change the DNA of the locust to make them go away. And it's like the dinosaurs literally didn't have to be there. Like, it's just gone. Like, if you would take the dinosaurs out of the movie, it wouldn't change the movie at all.
What?
They still have to go do this thing. And then this is like literally the ending. I'm giving it away and I don't care.
Fine, fuck it.
So they get the guy, Dr. Henry Wu, who's the guy that's done it since the beginning.
He's the bad guy. He's the
turns out the scientist that's made the dinosaurs in the beginning. Mm-hmm. So he also made the locusts. But he's the one that can make the locusts that can somehow stop the locusts. So he changes the DNA of one locust and then sets it free. And then that just like magically makes all the locusts now gone. Like, problem solved.
I don't think that's how population control works, right?
No, and then like the last scene is the doctor, Dr. Sattler and Dr. Grant going before Congress, and she goes, "Let's end this." And what? What the fuck are you talking about? What do you mean? What do you mean? Let's finish this? Like, in reference to what? The fuck does that even mean? Let's finish this.
Roll credits.
That's what it was. The end scene is the doctor saying to the other doctor, "Let's finish this," as they walk up into Congress to like give some speech. And what? End this. What the fuck does that even mean? You ended the series and it's fucking over and I don't even care anymore. That's what you ended.
Yeah. Now you know what it's like to have your childhood ruined, Robbie.
You took something great and just like ruined it. The whole thing.
The sequel trilogy did the same thing in Star Wars. Ruined. Ruined, Robbie.
I could watch Jurassic Park.
Uh-huh.
The first one.
Uh-huh.
On fucking repeat.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I could watch it day in and day out.
Yeah.
It will never get old to me.
Yeah.
If I have to watch the last Jurassic World again, it'll be too soon.
It's like people
I watched it once by myself, and I watched it with Jess. I don't know if I'm going to watch it again.
People used to talk about how terrible Episode 1 was in Star Wars.
Now you appreciate it.
Well, I always liked it, but I'm a little weird. And now they're like, you watch Rise of Skywalker, you're like, what is this horse shit?
Yeah.
Like, let's go watch Jar Jar Binks be an idiot. Like, yeah, it was a way better movie, wasn't it? It made sense.
It's the Fast and the Furious. Why? Why are we making these movies anymore?
I don't know.
How stupid are we as a society?
I don't know, man. And they just keep making more and more money.
Do we not have like a new thought?
No.
Ever? Like, because even Jurassic World is literally Jurassic Park 1, 2, and 3 just redone with different idea, like basically the same idea, but like slightly done differently.
Right. So, we went and watched the new Top Gun movie.
That supposedly was very good.
It was so good.
I have not seen it.
It was really awesome. I really thoroughly enjoyed it.
I will watch that.
I thoroughly enjoyed that movie. Great movie. Definitely a movie you should have seen in the movie theaters.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
It's a really big
proper
movie. It's
action
a big movie.
made for the theater.
It's fucking sick. It was great. I'm not a Tom Cruise guy, on a personal level.
I'm right there with you.
But he's a really good actor, and the movies he does generally are
good,
interesting. And that movie was really well done. I really enjoyed it. It was a really good movie to watch.
Yeah.
But there was a trailer for Nope, which is Jordan Peele's new movie.
He's so good, though. That's like,
and I was like, we're watching it trying to figure out, like, is this a horror movie or a comedy? Because, like, it's a little bit of both, which is a very strange place to be.
Yep.
But I saw this thing on Facebook or something somewhere where someone was had written an article about Nope.
Yep.
And was talking about the fact that, like, apparently Jordan Peele is the only director, producer, whatever he is, in Hollywood who still has an original thought.
Yes.
Like apparently that movie is very original.
Yeah.
Like it's
his movies.
It's a very interesting and unique take on alien abductions.
Yes.
I think
because
what happens.
He did. I can't think of what it's called now. Basically, when I describe it as fucking white people, like crazy fucking white people. It's
the where they like go on vacation or something.
It's where they take
black family gets like attacked.
No. That's Us.
Oh, okay.
It's the movie where like the old rich white people are keeping them. They're like the old white guy is like 100 years old. They're putting that person in a young black guy's body.
Oh.
And then, like, what the hell is that movie called? Everyone that's listening to the movie, there's the podcast right now,
is
screaming.
Is it a horror movie? A scary movie? Because like
it's a thriller. It's a thriller.
I can't watch horror movies, so I don't watch much of his stuff anymore.
I need to look this up.
Beyond his Key and Peele stuff, which is amazing.
But no, he is a Get Out. It's Get Out. It's extremely well done. It's a very, very good movie.
Huh. Okay.
But it's not a proper horror movie. It's more of a psychological thriller.
Okay. Yeah. See, I'm still not. I'm a little wuss.
I kind of gave away the plot twist. Now that I just think about it out loud.
Oh, my bad.
Sorry, guys. If you haven't seen the movie from 2017, it's your fault.
It's okay. I'll never watch it.
Get Out's really good. I haven't seen Us yet, and then but he's hell of a director.
He seems like
hell of a writer. Not always the biggest fan of like the M. Night Shyamalan plot twist, and he kind of has that with Get Out. I mean, it was a crazy plot twist, but it worked.
Right.
And it was an original thought.
I've only seen like maybe 2 M. Night Shyamalan movies, and
That's
both
too many.
of them,
That's too many.
Those like I watched The Village somehow.
You poor bastard.
That was the worst movie.
I think the only one of his that wasn't terrible was Split.
Oh,
it's got that to do with the split personalities.
Okay, I never watched that one.
It's pretty fucked up.
Wasn't his The Sixth Sense or whatever? Wasn't that one of his movies?
Probably. I don't know.
And then there was an alien movie I watched of his.
Yeah, that was Signs.
Signs
wasn't bad.
Signs was interesting.
Yep.
The only other horror movie that I've watched that I enjoyed was Cloverfield.
Those are good.
That was a good movie.
Yep.
But you can't watch that one twice.
No, it's once you know the ending, it doesn't matter.
You're right. You gotta, or at least you have to wait. Like I haven't seen it since it came out, so I could probably watch it again now.
Yeah.
But like you can't watch it regularly because it's totally ruined.
Well, even like in October, I like to watch horror movies.
Yeah.
I always end up watching the same ones from like '99 because anything recent sucks.
Right.
And then I watched like the original Halloweens. I stopped watching after like the 2008 movie because all the new ones suck.
And I think we as a humanity, and we can actually tie this into cars.
Yeah,
we as a as the human race, as a society, everything's got to be bigger than the last time we did it. We got to amp up everything we do. That's how we've gotten into these horsepower wars, and now we make cars that, like, frankly, shouldn't be available to the public. That's how we end up with these time attack programs that are not sustainable.
Yeah,
like guys like James Houghton, who's like, yeah, he was the time attack powerhouse when we first started doing grid life stuff, and it got to a point where he couldn't financially continue with it.
When you can't turn a car on for less than $2,000 every time it starts, that's not sustainable.
Yeah, at
a grassroots level,
right? And so I feel like movies are a really good example of that. Like we feel like we have to go up and up and up. Everything has to be more and more extreme, and in some way, eventually we get to the point where it's gotten so dumb, so extreme that it's come around to being dumb, and it doesn't, like the Hostel movies or some of the Saw movies, it was just how
it was a gore factor.
How much fucked up shit can we pack into one movie for ways to kill another human being?
Right.
And like, this isn't.
No, it wasn't.
If you enjoy this, you should probably we probably need to get you a therapist.
We should probably talk about this.
Yeah, like maybe a padded room, like maybe separate you from society.
But it does feel like more recently that movies were starting to rely on CGI too much.
Yeah,
so it was basically just a computer created movie with a handful of actors in it, basically not doing much.
Right.
And now they're starting to like dial it back, because even like in the new Jurassic Park, they're like, there was too much CGI in the last movie. We need to have more animatronics, more like, instead of having the actors looking at
green screens
and like someone with a ball on a stick pretending to be scared of it. They're like, you know what? That's stupid and unauthentic, so it looks terrible on film. And then when you make it look like they're actually screaming at something that's in front of them, it's more authentic.
Yeah, like when there's a giant robotic dinosaur of life-size Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Yes, that turns on and off on its own because of some wiring glitches.
Yeah,
like in the first
that's
movie.
Fucking terrifying.
Yeah. People were legitimately scared of the first movie in the movie, like when they were filming, because that dinosaur would turn on and do things on its own.
Those velociraptors were flat out terrifying, Robbie.
Terrifying.
That kitchen scene still fucks with me.
It's the best shot scary scene ever.
Is it that way in the book?
Yes.
Is that a movie that does a pretty good that does justice? Justice.
I don't know if that scene would be like copy paste,
right?
But like, there's a lot of really good, intense dinosaur stalking the human scenes that you're reading. Like, oh my god, like just, oh my god, oh my god. Like it's so good.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Crichton was the best fucking writer.
Right.
So, car show, Adam.
Car show. Horsepower Wars, Robbie.
Yeah.
See, I tied it in. It's fine. What else we got? Let's talk about...
Let's kind of catch up on what we've been doing. So
we need to talk about your Mini, because this is interesting to me, and I don't know that we really talked about it last time because you were just figuring it out.
So last time you were gloating over the fact that my head gasket had failed.
Yep, and I was really excited about the fact that you not taking something to the machine shop had finally let you down.
Yep.
Turns out I was wrong. That was a premature celebration.
Yep, so it was not the head. So I brought the head in. They ended up milling off 6 thou.
Yeah, something insignificant.
Yeah, because even like he's like, we machined it, and he kind of like, you could kind of see a leak path. He's kind of like almost like justifying it,
like trying to justify it.
He's like, because usually the specs are around 5 thou, and this one measured 6. So we took 6 thou off, and I'm like, just tell me you took 6 thou off. I'm not going to question it. Like, here's $100, and we'll fucking move on. Like I brought it to you just to make sure. Like, unless you were telling me, it's a 1 thou,
right?
I was like, well, now we know for sure. We took 6 thou off the head. It's fine. But the weird thing was, when I pulled the head off, that my coolant had gelled. Like, gelled. Like, like it looked like paper mache mixed with Jello. So, like, it wasn't, like, everywhere. So, like, so on Saturday, after you guys all left, I finished taking apart the Mini, and I bet I worked on the Mini for maybe 2 hours on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Start to finish, took the head off, 2 hours. I bet I spent at least 4 hours on Sunday just cleaning out the water jackets and the coolant system. Hose? Gallons at a time, but yeah. So, so I didn't even, like, I was so mad at it, like, the situation, I didn't even take a picture until I was, like, done with everything, and then like, shit, if I'm going to talk about this on the podcast, I need to have a picture of it. So I took a picture of, like, what it looks like stuck to the side of my trash can.
You always hear, and you read it all, the warning labels and stuff like that, like, do not mix these random, generally speaking, foreign, a lot of times, coolants, or these modern coolants with just like green antifreeze, or, because you can cause problems, but I've never actually seen it happen.
I've never seen it happen. I honestly didn't know it was a thing, really. I knew that, like, Dex Cool was like the one that you really need to be careful with, because Dex Cool mixed with green is going to cause problems.
Yeah.
And honestly, I've never given it a second thought, like using tap water versus distilled water. I know you should use distilled water. Like, I've used tap water forever. Never had an issue.
Right.
And actually, when I posted in the group after looking into it and kind of like reading into it, I was like, was like, I don't even really know what to say because I don't want to be flamed by the entire group. Like, you didn't fucking use distilled water, you idiot.
Dude, I've never used anything that didn't come out of a hose.
Right. So the bet to the so I pull the head off, get that set aside, and then I'm looking at it, I'm like, the head gasket looks fine. Like the head gasket, you could see where when I took it off, where the stuff had like stuck and like, so it wasn't like just perfectly, the seal wasn't perfect on the head gasket.
Right.
Like you get like some of that coating or whatever is on the head, some of it's on the block, some of it on the like. But it doesn't look like anything. Doesn't look like an actual leak path.
Like
anywhere.
It didn't fail.
Yeah. So looking into it on Sunday, it's like more heavily. So it's like cylinder 4 right before the thermostat is packed full of this gel. So yeah, it looks like paper mache mixed with Jello.
Is that one of those like open head or open block? No, I can't think of what those are called.
So yeah, the cylinders, and it's got like a water jacket all the way across. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so the water jacket's all the way.
Right.
So the thermostat was like ruined. Like the plastic and shit all around it, it just looked like it ruined. So, but it looked like it just kind of like between the thermostat and then like, we'll say the front cylinder 1, the back cylinder 4 by the thermostat. Okay. We'll say cylinder 4 next to the thermostat.
Cylinder 1 should be
closest to the
timing chain.
Yeah, so cylinder 4. Mm-hmm. That entire water jacket around cylinder 4 was basically packed full of this crud. And so was the thermostat.
That's so weird.
And then it kind of like slowly got less thick as it got towards like the front of the timing or front of the engine, cylinder 1.
I suppose because that's all where it flows to. So it's all going to, because as it flows through the motor, the thermostat is probably the restriction. Yep. So as it all came through the motor, it would hit the thermostat and just pile up behind there and just stop.
Right. So I spent probably 4 hours on Sunday. I had one of those big bags of cotton swabs from Harbor Freight you can get for like $5. Uh-huh. So I went through like an entire bag of those, just like cleaning and like treating it like a scoop and just like spooning out the coolant.
Oh my gosh.
So I got the water jacket completely cleared, and then I flushed it with water, flushed the heater core out. There really wasn't anything in the heater core, and like they're not restricted. So the heater core went both ways. I flushed it going one way, nothing really came out. Flushed it going the other way, nothing really came out. And it wasn't like I could dump a gallon in and just like sit and wait, and then like dump more. Like it was just consistent. Like there's a little bit of restriction, obviously, because it's a heater core. Right. And it's got to kind of work through the channels.
Right.
But like, I could just pour and pour. Like it's coming out just as fast as I'm pouring it in.
Okay.
For the most part.
Right.
And really wasn't a bunch of junk coming out of it. Radiator had a little bit of some of this gel in it a little bit. Like, but I went gallons and gallons and gallons, and like in the bucket that I was catching it in, there was like a couple of particles. Like it wasn't same thing. It was just like I'm pouring it in as fast as it'll let me, and it's not like getting restricted. It's just coming right back out.
So I wonder if the original coolant was in the bottom of the engine,
so
in the bottom of the block.
So I found
it probably already had gelled up before it even got through the thermostat to get into the radiator and stuff like that.
That's kind of what it looks like. Because like there's a little bit kind of from the thermostat, you kind of see some gel in the hoses. So, like
right, there's going to be a little bit that passes through there, but not all. But
yeah, so I cleaned most of that. Obviously, I cleaned all of it out, but there wasn't near as much there as it was. Like I spent. Of the 4 hours, I spent at least 3 of them just in the block.
That's crazy.
So, like, I found an old service bulletin from Mini, but this is like from the 90s. Like, it's real old, like 30 fucking years ago.
God damn it,
But I found this service bulletin from Mini that said that if you have an overconcentration of coolant. This is Mini branded coolant in a Mini. Like this is what their service bulletin from assuming from a factory setup.
Right.
So an overconcentration of coolant, which is the blue coolant, mixed with hard water, which
I'm sure yours is
hard water.
About as hard as it gets.
I'm in the country.
You're on a rural water system, though. You're not on a well, are you?
Correct.
So
it's basically the same thing what you would drink,
right? But it could
be harder.
Do you have a softener?
I do not.
Okay.
So it basically was just saying like if you mix Mini branded or Mini coolant with hard water and it's overconcentrated, it could potentially do this. To the best of my assumptions, I can assume that I overconcentrated it and didn't get it as close to 50-50 as I thought.
Yeah.
Which I'll give myself that. Maybe I didn't. I used Peak German or European blue, I guess is whatever you want to call it. Whatever the label is.
Yeah.
So I used Peak Blue. I didn't flush the system. Yeah. I didn't think about it. But I guess I didn't think there'd be much residual in the heater core or the radiator because I pulled it doesn't have a drain. I just pulled the
there
bottom
must be
hose.
Enough in the block, though.
There's not much in the block.
There had to have been.
I mean, there had to have been, but I didn't think there was.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's just assume that there was some residual mini branded coolant in the system somewhere, mixed with Peak Blue, which supposedly mixes, but maybe it doesn't. Well, let's assume I overconcentrated it. Whatever I didn't overconcentrate was mixed with hard water, as well as residuals from when the previous owner used head gasket in a can.
That was the other thing, was like, we don't know what he put in it.
There was for sure head gasket in a can somewhere in there.
Right, but we also don't know what he put in there for a coolant.
Right. So, hindsight being what it is.
Yeah.
Should have flushed the system.
Now we know.
So I don't know if I just made like the perfect concoction to make this happen, and I just was in a hurry and didn't pay attention. Maybe it had already started a little bit, and I just didn't put the right. I don't know.
New car things. I mean, you don't know.
Yeah, it's weird. No,
so
I honestly, it didn't even cross my mind that this was going to be a problem. Like,
right? Yeah, I would have never thought
when it overheated the way it did, because it basically overheated and then puked all of the coolant that was in the system out, like just like it would if I had a bad head gasket that was leaking into the coolant system,
right?
And just like puking the coolant back out, like the Z did, and like how this did originally,
right?
So I don't know. It's totally torn apart. Head's been machined. The block's all clean. I started putting it back together. But then the focus obviously went to the NPO one because we got a race this coming weekend. Mm-hmm. So I'll get to it when I have time. But
so when you're done, now that you have it completely flushed out and clean,
yep.
Are you just gonna put regular old shit in it?
What do you mean, like just like junk?
No, I would just put regular water and green, and I'd just put a 50-50 green in here and be done with it.
So my plan right now is
because it's all cleaned out. Why bother putting some fancy bullshit in there now?
So my plan is to run. So I have this Blue Devil radiator flush system, compound.
Okay.
Or flushed in a bottle.
Okay.
So when I get done, I'm going to, on its first warm up, it's gonna be just distilled water and the Blue Devil coolant flush, just to get any residuals that might be stuck on on the walls in the radiator, stuck on the that I didn't get cleaned up. So because basically what you do for that is you get it up to temp, you let it run for like 15-20 minutes.
Okay.
You shut it off during the system.
That makes sense.
Flush the system. So like basically that's what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it fixed, use the coolant flush system, flush it, and then I'm going to probably run the rest of the summer with like a 80% distilled water, 20% blue for the just to make sure something stupid doesn't happen again, and then before winter flush it and go 50-50.
Well, you're going to put the factory recommended blue stuff back in it?
I'm going to use the Peak Blue unless someone can get a hold of me tomorrow and say don't use Peak.
I would just put regular old green antifreeze in it.
I mean, maybe I have to. I don't know. I'm probably not going to get to it today. So,
yeah,
if someone wants to get a hold of me before next week or as soon as they hear this and be like, hey, I would recommend using this. I'm all ears. Be my guest.
Right.
But yeah, I doubt I'll be ready to do that in the next 24 hours. But
that's fair.
Yeah, it was a very, very, very strange,
Cars
very
are
frustrating. Yeah. So I don't know.
What are you gonna do, Robbie?
Yep, just keep pushing ahead, I guess.
You live and you learn.
Yep.
At least you don't have a fit.
At least I don't have a fit.
At least you don't have a fit.
I mean, everybody else.
I mean, you could just be like everybody else.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
And have a Honda.
Lame.
Right? Gross.
Still worth it.
Exactly. You did it. You did it. Hashtag for the content.
Yeah, for the content. Now everyone knows. Like, man, I should probably. Maybe I shouldn't just mix random coolants together.
I mean, we've never one thing I am relatively proud of through the pantheon of this show is that we've never tried to hide our mistakes.
No, if something happens.
And I know that there are people out there who have said that they have learned to do or not do things because we did it first and we fucked it up good and proper.
Yep.
And instead of trying to pretend like that never happened or just brushing it under the rug and moving on with life, we admitted to it, we talked about it, and we said what we did to fix it.
Oh, speaking of, I will never, ever use torque yield bolts ever fucking again.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that.
Fucking fuck.
Is that purely a cost saving?
From an engineering standpoint, a torque yield bolt is at like it'll hold torque better when it's torque to yield. It's at its yield strength. It's theoretically where it's supposed to be. But that's also under the assumption that there is no faults within the system, like a manufacturing defect in the bolt, a manufacturing defect in the block, in the threads, anything like that. So theoretically, a bolt torqued to yield is going to hold torque better than just a harder, stronger bolt torqued to a certain level, which is why a lot of head bolts are torqued to yield.
Right.
That being said, if you've replaced your head multiple times and those threads have been stretched multiple times, something might fail, like the bolts on the timing cover of my Mini Cooper.
So did you have a bolt break or a thread strip?
Pulled the threads right the fuck out.
Oh, I didn't realize. I thought you broke a bolt.
Nope. So the Mini has
Robbie.
Yeah. So the Mini has 8 bolts. So basically, 10. 10 bolts that are M10s that go around the cylinders. They're
for the head.
Yeah, they're the meat of holding this head on.
Hold the head to the block.
Yep. And then it's got 2 M8 bolts that hold the front of the in front of the timing chain that hold the timing cover to the head. And those are
under the valve cover.
Yes.
Why don't they just go sideways through the
I don't know, dude.
You know what I mean? Why do they come in under the valve?
So you have your 10 that hold the head to the block, and then you have the 2 M8s that hold the timing.
So do these go through the head into the block and hold the timing cover?
So the timing cover's in front, and then it attaches so it's basically the front of the timing cover attaches to the head. And what's fucked up to me is that those are torque to yield, which makes no sense.
They're not under pressure, are they?
No, not really. I mean, I'm sure there's some pressure, but it's in front of the timing chain.
But they're not integral to holding the head to the block. They're not doing any.
No, because it's
they're not containing compression or anything.
No, they're not.
They're just there to hold the timing cover in place.
So basically,
why?
And then there's another one that's that goes on the outside that holds it's an even shorter, smaller M8 bolt that just gets torqued to I think it's 20 Newton meters or something. So the process is you do the main bolts.
This is all in Newton meters, isn't it?
Of course it is. And the instruction the instruction is in fucking German. So
does your torque wrench have Newton meters on it?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, okay.
So the process is you torque the main bolts. So you do, I think it's 30 Newton meters, 90 degrees. So you order 1 through 10, 30 Newton meters. Order 1 through 10, 90 degrees. Order 1 through 10, 90 degrees.
What?
Yes.
180 degrees past?
180 degrees.
That's crazy.
So I made it through that process just fine. My next is I go to the front 2 bolts that go to the timing cover. Those get torqued to, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I think it's 20 Newton meters or something. It's a smaller value. Followed by, it's 90 and 90 again, which makes it's pointless. But
what? That's only 15 pounds.
Yeah, so you don't torque it very hard, and then it's the 90 and 90.
20 Newton meters is 14.75 foot-pounds.
Yeah, it's not. It's the initial torque is not very much. It's the 90 and 90 that's where it really gets torqued.
There's probably some torque wrenches don't even go that low.
Mine does.
Right.
But yes.
That's like barely past finger tight.
Yeah, it's a little bit more than that, but yes.
I know, but like 15 pounds, really?
Yeah. So did the front. So, did the first 10. Then I went to 11. Got that one torqued. Did 12. Torqued. 13. Torqued. Went back to do my 90 degrees on the... Because the back one, that's the short one, doesn't need to be anything beyond 25 Newton meters. It's just done. Then the front two...
That's 18 pounds for those playing along foot-pounds.
Yeah. So then the other front two need to be... I think it's just 90.
Okay. So
then you do your 90. I didn't even get like hardly anything on on bolt number 12.
Oh, okay.
So 1 through 10 are done.
Yep.
13.
So 1 through 10 went to 30 Newton meters?
I don't have it in front of me. I think it went 30, then 90, then 90.
30 Newton meters isn't that... It's only 22 foot-pounds.
Right.
It's not that much.
No. But then
and that's the head gas. But then you have another
180 degrees.
I know, but like, why wouldn't... That just seems like such an inaccurate way to measure it.
I know. I'm not a fan. But anyways, so I did the smaller bolts, and then the second one, as soon as I started to... Like, I torqued it, fine. As soon as I went to the other one, I barely even got started. Just went pop and just pulled the threads just pulled right the fuck out. Luckily, the timing cover, these bolts go so it's like a casting that goes on the front of the timing cover, so I can drill straight through.
So that bolt or those threads were in the timing cover?
Yep.
So you can take it out of the car and just do they're not like, no?
I'm not gonna.
No. Oh, because then you'd have to pull all the accessories and shit off.
Pull everything
fucking
off.
Front of the
No, I'm just gonna drill it out and coil that one. But like, if it was the other ones, I'd be super fucked. But like, it's because it's the front timing cover one. It's just give me something tight on that one. Whatever. But like, yeah, if I ever take these off again, no effing way I'm putting these bolts back in it. Like, they're this type of bolt back in it. I don't trust any of them anymore. And
you have to. A torque to yield bolt is a one-time use.
Yes, these are brand new bolts, all of them.
That's also really frustrating. Like, I get, if from a brand new manufactured car standpoint, the torque to yield one-time bolt thing kind of makes sense.
Yep.
But like from a race car perspective,
and a repair environment perspective,
it's really annoying.
It sucks. It really sucks. So, I mean, and I took the time to clean out all my, clean all the junk out of those holes, make sure they're clean. Like, I was very meticulous, Adam.
Oh, Robbie,
I spent a lot of time doing this the right way.
It's so frustrating.
Yep. No, nothing. There is no worse feeling than getting to that point where you're like, assembly, pop. Like, you just sit there and disbelieve, like, no fucking way. No fucking way. I just pulled out all the threads. Yep, pulled them out.
That's really...
Torque to yield.
It's not even that tight.
It's not. Torque to yield in aluminum sucks so bad.
It's not even that tight.
No, it wasn't. So...
Because, I mean, we're talking relatively small foot-pound numbers. That's crazy.
Because it's like I looked up the ARPs for if I have to do this again. The ARPs are like for the main bolts, it's a 3-step process, and it's like I don't know, I can't remember the numbers, but like I know you end on 75 foot-pounds. So it
doesn't seem like that much for a head.
With the ARPs, it's not uncommon.
Dude,
but I agree with you.
If it was me for those timing cover bolts, they'd get a grade 8. I'd snug them up and I'd move on with my life.
I'm really not worried about the front timing cover bolts.
You know what I mean?
Not.
Like, I mean, if you had to do it again, I would not spend ARP money on front timing cover bolts.
No.
I would just buy some grade 8s, some like run-of-the-mill, bottom at the store, snug them up, and move on with my life.
I'm not...
Put some blue Loctite on there for safekeeping, be done with it.
We are saying the same thing. I really don't care about it. Because it's those two...
Yeah.
Or because it's one of those two, I'm not like ready to throw the car away. Right. But like, had that failed on the main bolts, the head has to come back off. We had fucking time certain the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like it's torque yield in aluminum sucks so bad, and I will pay whatever. Like if I have to pull the head off of any of my vehicles ever again, I'm paying $200 and getting the ARP bolts. Period. I'm not doing this again.
Right.
This is the second fucking block I've done this to. I'm not doing it again.
Oh, Robbie.
I'm still. It's been days. I'm still like not. I haven't come to grips with it. It's like
it's so stupid.
This is what I fucking get for like doing things.
It's just
you know what I mean?
Dumb shit though too.
That's the worst part. Is that like I know I didn't do anything.
You didn't do anything wrong.
No, I followed the instructions to
In
the
fact,
to
you probably
the letter.
went above and beyond what most people would do if you spent the time to chase your threads out and make sure they were clean.
Yes, I did.
If you did that...
I mean, I didn't take a thread chaser, but like
Right.
I cleaned them.
Right.
I made sure there was no oil, there no residue. Like
That's more than 90% of people would do.
I literally let the cotton swabs I was talking about earlier. I cleaned them with those, brake clean them, everything. Like it's cleaned them out some more. Like looking with a flashlight, there's no shit in there. Then I let what are now clean Q-tips sit in them overnight to soak up any residuals that might be in there.
So that you're not
there's
compressing against some bullshit
nothing.
thing.
They were fucking clean.
That's totally not a step I would have taken.
Yeah, no.
There's no way. But of course, dude, I would have looked at that torque spec and went, nah, bro, I'm not doing that. I would have snugged and I would have tightened them up and then give them a little more and I'd be done with it.
On those ones, yeah, probably. Like
right. On the head, I would have done that. Right. Absolutely. But on the timing bolt or timing cover bolts, there's not a chance I would have put the torque wrench on those.
It's crazy to me. That's weird. So, yeah, next time.
It's so frustrating.
But yeah, no, if you want to talk to me about doing torque yield again, my answer is going to be no, you do it. I will not. I will not do another torque yield bolt.
It seems to be a more and more and more common thing in...
Oh, yeah, it's everything.
In cars now.
Well, engines are becoming throwaway things now.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I mean, the MZR, for example, it is specifically designed to be thrown away if it fails.
Right.
I mean, we
learned
that.
Not if. When.
We learned that doing ours. It's just like, oh, yeah. None of these timing components are keyed in any way. So if it jumps timing, the whole engine's done. It isn't like if you take the crank pulley off, you have to replace all these like diamond washers because like it's not meant to be taken apart ever.
Somebody did the math, and it was decided that it was cheaper to just YOLO it and replace the ones that fail than it is to do it right the first time and make it less likely that any will.
Yeah. It is, yeah. An MZR engine is cheaper to just replace than it is to take the time to fix anything internally.
Right.
That's how they're designed.
But that's not acceptable in your use case.
No, especially if you're buying a built one.
I would want to fix all those things. You have to put studs and everything and good quality fasteners and bolts and everything. And I mean, you're going to spend that much money. You're going to spend what you put in the motor again in bolts hardware to put it together.
Oh, without a doubt.
Just crazy.
Which is the worst part about the Mini. I paid $2,200 for the whole car.
Yeah. You got to be well on your way to doubling that at this point.
No.
Not
counting insurance, not counting registration.
Right, because that's a cost that any vehicle is going to have.
I spent $400 something on the original parts.
Okay.
So the last 100 and something that I had to replace, like with
that's not that bad.
So the last 100 or so, like head bolts, stuff like that, or FCP Euro parts, like at $100 that second time is not there.
Josh is that far into his running fit.
So I'm probably $3,000 total into it. 3,500 at the most.
Not bad at all.
It's less than 3,500 all said and done.
Josh has got that. But
I also don't
parts on his Fit that ran when he bought it.
Yeah, mine doesn't. I guess mine doesn't run yet. So
there
could be more,
but still.
But I replaced the timing chain, the timing cover, like the tensioner. I replaced the thermostat.
Is that a hydraulic tensioner in there?
No,
a mechanical one.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have oil going to it.
No, I know, but does it have? Do you know if it had a hydraulic piston or a spring holding it in place?
I guess I didn't tear mine apart.
Okay.
I don't remember. But yeah, so I mean, I replaced...
Did it have a pin you had to pull out once it's installed?
No.
Okay.
No, because you compress it and you thread it in and then
you can compress it yourself.
Yes.
When you install it.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it's long enough that when you thread it in, there's enough. Then it does this thing. So you just keep.
Because the one on my Audi, you had to, once you had it in place, you had to pull a pin and then that would pop out and
the MZR is that way.
Self tighten, if you will.
Yep. Yeah, this one's not that way. Yeah, so I replaced everything. So of course, the crank bolt is torque yield. The cam bolts are torque yield. So those got replaced, but those are all the FCP Euro parts. So those got warranted.
Yeah, but still, even if they are warranted, the time cert you got to buy or the helicoil you got to buy, and the frustration that is
the frustration level,
that's not warranted.
That's not warranted.
You don't get your money back on that.
No, but no, if we're counting just parts, I'm still probably right around $3,000, maybe a little more. So yeah. So I'd say
cars are fun, Robbie.
This is stupid, fucking stupid, so stupid. But yeah, speaking of the MZR, so we got the 2.5 liter swapped into the NP01,
which was way more work than you had anticipated because there were more custom parts on the 2 liter than I think you anticipated going into it, weren't there?
There's just some weird things that we didn't see coming. So like the idler pulley that the NP01 or the Elan motor engine uses on the whole serpentine setup that needs to be machined into the timing cover.
Right.
So that wasn't. And then also the way it mounts to the engine, you have to machine off half that casting off the timing cover to allow for the bracket to hold it onto the NP01 bracket. And then you have to space it because the 2.5 liters is half an inch taller. So we had to have the timing cover machined, which it's not a big deal. It's just
So is that something that Booney has the capabilities of doing, or did you have to take him into a machine shop for that? Brought
to the machine shop, the same place that did my head. So I just kind of brought both of them in and saying, "Hey, this is what we're doing. This is the 2 liter. This is the 2.5. We're swapping it into a purpose built race car. I just need this section and this section."
To look the
same. I can't give you dimensions. I just need to tell you that
they need to be the same.
These need to be the same. So I think it's $56. Just knocked it right out. And they're like, yeah,
you can come back and pick this up in a few hours if you want.
Yeah, it was like a day. They knew what we were going for. It was no big deal.
Yeah, it's simple enough. It's just frustrating.
Yeah, so it's just things we thought we had it. We had the whole engine assembled. Then we started looking at fuck, that timing cover's got to come off. Which means the entire timing assembly is gone. We have to we have to retime it. We have to redo because those crush washer things that hold the whole timing assembly together so it doesn't jump timing. Those all have to be replaced because every time you tighten it and loosen it, those get thrown away and get replaced. So we have an abundance of these diamond crush washers. So we find I bet we timed that engine 3 times. By the time we took it off, put it back together, took it off.
So you're getting good at it.
Yeah.
That's not an easy motor to do either, is it? It's there's some steps to it though.
We got the tools. It's not
right.
It's
yeah,
not
I suppose.
Yeah. So got it all together. It's the same sensors, the same architecture. Whether it's the 2 liter, the 2.3, or the 2.5, it's all the fucking same.
Right.
Really. It's we were talking to the tuner, and it'll run fine. Just fire it up. He's there's literally no concern. Just fire it up. So we got it all together. Fired it up. I don't know how to explain it, but this engine is night and day smoother. Just the other engine just sounded like it was loud on the top end. It was just rattly. The whole thing just sounded. I don't want to say rowdy because it didn't sound rowdy. It sounded
wore out almost.
No, because it's a brand new engine, but
but
it's just it had these weird rattles and noises and I don't know how to explain it, but
yeah.
But this one, you fire it up, and it's quiet. The top end is very quiet because it's just a stock 2.5 liter top end.
Right.
Doesn't have the cams or anything like that, so it's just quiet. And then it idles a lot smoother. The exhaust note is a lot quieter. The whole thing is just smoother. It did.
But it made almost identical power.
So we restricted
more torque.
Yeah, quite a bit more torque. So we restricted it. We had a big a stricter
you had a giant one on there before. We've talked about that.
So this one we took that out. I was thinking in my head. I'm like, so the strung out 2 liter with the cams, was 200 wheel. What's the word I'm looking for? Uncorked. With the tune that's on it. And I was like, so we restricted it down to 174. I was like, well, these stock cams, but it's a 2.5. I was like, I bet we're going to be
the same
in the ballpark without a restrictor.
Yeah.
I was like, so let's just baseline it, see where we're at. We did our first pull, 169.
With no restrictor?
No restrictor, no tune.
Okay.
Like it just
see what it does.
We'll see where we're at. Because we were going to send our files off to the remote tuner. He was going to tell us what to do. We were going to, and it's like, we watched the AFR reading, and it goes.
It's perfect.
I mean, I wouldn't say perfect because it gets a little rich towards like the top end.
Yeah. Rich is fine.
But I mean, it's like the engine just like sounds smooth all the way through the revs. Like it's like not some weird rattles and resonances, and like it's just like it sounds so good. Like it just sounds right.
So boring.
Yeah, exactly. So we did our second pull, 170 horsepower. Third pull, 172.
Yep, that's what it usually does. It'll go up a little bit.
We did 3 pulls. Didn't do any tuning. We sent the files off to the tuner. He's like, you could optimize it, but you're already where you want to be. It's like, and not only that, it was like people pay good money for the torque curve the horsepower curve that we got.
Yeah, it's super flat. There's a little dip in the middle, but it's like it's a very usable power. It's not peaky, and it doesn't take a ton of time to build that power. It just comes right up. It kind of gets on it, and it goes to redline.
Yep. So we reevaluated the rules for and probably we talked about doing this anyways because as a way to like save the engine, to take the fuel cutoff instead of being into the 7,000 RPM range, pull it back a little bit so that fuel cuts at like 6,800 to keep us from ourselves.
Right.
So we talked about doing that anyway. So we're right at the limit of what a flat curve can be in WRL without taking a penalty.
Right.
So we're probably gonna have the remote tuner just take that fuel cut and pull it back 250 RPM.
Right.
That way we know for sure we're within the rules. We're like right on that. Like,
yeah, you don't want. That's the last thing you want is for someone because since you guys, I assume you're the only ones running the 2.5.
No, there's some other. I mean, there's some other people like with different versions of these engines and like some other swaps. So, I mean,
I was going to say, if you're the only ones that have done it, like someone's going to protest you just to see.
And the GTU class is kind of weird this year because the rules are still fluid a little bit because like
there's no points championship.
There is, but like
you guys aren't part of the main.
It's not cutthroat yet,
right?
Just because everyone that's racing in it wants it to be a thing.
Right, so they're trying to be nice.
So it's still not like I'm going to fuck you over just to get a position like it would be in a lot of other classes. And I'm not shitting on other classes. I'm just saying like this GTU is still in the experimental stages.
Booney and the boys have felt the effects of how cutthroat those other classes can be.
Yeah, and I'm not saying GTU won't get there, but this year's not the year for that. Because if we get to the point where everyone's like cutthroat and makes it so that everyone hates each other in the class, there won't be a class. Because right now everyone's chasing after the same goal of there being a GTU class where it's competitive, where there's cars at every event, and then I expect like the teams to stop helping each other so much, right? And that's acceptable.
That's racing.
But yeah, the GTU groups and the teams that are in GTU have been like there's Facebook groups that everyone's in. There's a lot of good discussions on like rules moving forward, like spirit of the rules, so everyone's just kind of it's very open. So like Dakota Dickerson and Charlie from Stratus Racing, before every race they share their data, they share their videos, and they give their notes before so at High Plains, Charlie had passing zones, notes, like all the stuff that he's using as their team, he's giving to everybody. So if there was ever a year to just be like close enough, it's this year.
Right.
But obviously we don't want to be that team that shows up and like,
It's close to being legal.
It's close, right?
It's really close to being legal.
We're not doing that. So we absolutely are playing by the rules. It's just now we got to decide if we need to have the tuner come in and do the next day or so, and then redo the last three pulls, and whether we do it here or if we do it in Colorado on their dyno.
Do they bring a dyno to events?
They do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we'll be totally legal. It's just a matter of what work we need to do before then. It's like, I got all the AEM because right now the ACU is still locked. It's like we haven't unlocked it.
Right.
So so we'll see. I have the dyno Jet software, so I can read all the files. I also have the AEM software, so we can do any remote tuning through my computer. So it's whatever we need to do. We're all set up. We're set up to do it. Yeah. So we've got a few things to button up on the NPO one before High Plains, but by the time you're listening to this, we'll be getting everything prepped and
that's not true.
Ready to go.
Oh yes, prepped and ready to go. Yes.
Not listening. No, not after the race.
You won't be racing by the time this show comes out.
No. We'll just come out tomorrow. We'll be getting everything ready, and then we're taking off probably on Wednesday. So if you're, let's assume no show next week. You're going to High Plains. You're leaving Wednesday. Yeah.
Josh Fettis is getting off of work Wednesday night, and then I think he's hitting the road, and I assume he's picking me up, and we're going to Mid-Ohio. So we're going the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So Mid-Ohio should be interesting this year.
That'll be fun. There's a lot of people going.
Yeah. Dusty's flying in from Tejas.
Nice.
He's going to do media
things. Yeah.
Yep. So he's got a media pass. So that means we'll have pictures and stuff to go along with it this year, which we haven't had in quite a few years. We haven't had grid life picture coverage in quite a few years. So that's kind of exciting and fun. Tommy has pretty much told Dalton that he wants to make it a tradition that we buy a sketchy ass fucking car in the middle of the night. So I don't know how that's going to go down, I guess.
Great. It's going to go great.
Whether or not that's really going to happen, we'll see, I suppose. E-Man's going to be there. The whole 9 yards. So it should be an interesting weekend for me as well.
Yeah. So that'll be good. That'll be good coverage content.
Find us at Mid-Ohio. Yep. Find me at Mid-Ohio. Yep. It'll be fun.
I won't be there.
If you're close to Colorado, you can go and watch a WRL race.
Problem is, High Plains isn't near anything.
Well, I mean, if you live near Denver, it's not too bad.
You could make the trek. So I won't be at Mid-O. I won't be at Lime Rock, but I will be at Alpine. I bought my tickets. The Z is getting a tune. The Z has parts ordered to make sure everything's good to go there. So honestly, I just need tires and a tune. So the tune is the deposit has been made already.
Okay,
and I need to follow up and get the exact date, but that'll be in August.
Cool.
And I'm just deciding on tires because I'm not sure what I want to do yet.
Apparently, shaved Kumos are the hot ones.
I'm not shaving them.
The Nexons are apparently pretty good.
I don't know if they're sold out everywhere in my size.
Are they sold out in your size? Okay.
Apparently, that's the problem. Is it
you have a really common size?
275. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty common. It's 275. Whatever. 17 is a pretty common.
If I had
sports car size.
If I had to order tires today, my options would be 660s, Dunlop Durezas. I think that's it.
So 660s
then. I think there's a Tire Rack doesn't have them, but I think there was one site that had rivals, and I think the Kumos might have been available somewhere. So, but realistically, I'm probably just gonna do 660s
or 615s if you can find those. They're not as fast, but they do last longer.
They do last.
I mean, if budget is more important to you than speed.
No, I mean, these tires will be for high Alpine and then for Topeka. So I mean,
right.
I'm not chasing after the top spot. I know that. So
right.
So if I can get two events out of a set of tires,
you can get 2 events out of a set of 660s too.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's not like you need to go to a 615 or so because a 660 is like a one-hit tire.
No,
you'll be good for 2 events.
Right. So I'm probably going to end up on the 660s, realistically.
Yeah, so that's fair.
But I haven't ordered them yet. Unless I see inventory low, and then I'll order them that very day. I have all of those tires I'm arguing with myself between are in my cart on Tire Rack. And I'm just kind of monitoring to make sure that there's an inventory. And if it appears to me that there might not be, I'm just going to order them then. Be like, you know what? I need tires now. These are what I'm going with. I don't care. So, so Alpine and then Topeka and what else? do we got to talk about? Nothing.
Oh, let's shut this shit down. It's getting long. My wife's has called me twice now, so I'm probably in trouble.
Ooh, you're way in trouble.
Yeah. So, definitely not going to see you guys next week.
No, definitely not next week. But if you want to be faster on track, hit up Apex Pro, apextrackcoach.com. You can download the app for free. So if you want to get an idea of what it's like to be faster on track and where you were losing time, Apex Pro and then Andrew and the team are the place to go. So apextrackcoach.com, use the code 1010 to get 10% off when you get the Gen 2 as well as your window mount. And an email just came out this past week that if you have a Gen 1 and you want to upgrade to the Gen 2, there is a what's the word I'm looking for? Rebate. Yep. So basically like a $100 rebate. So if you send in your Gen
1, they'll give you, I thought it was $100 for the Gen 2 then.
Yes. I think so. Something like that.
I don't think it was a $100 rebate. I think it was $100 total.
I thought it was $100 towards. I should probably look. I
don't know.
Should double check. Either way, it's a thing.
If you have a Gen 1 and you want a Gen 2,
get a hold of Andrew.
Get a hold of them. They've got a deal.
Yep. ApexTrackCoach.com. And we will catch everybody in 2 weeks.